Sports and Fitness Expo, 12th to 14th of December, Pune. Fitness, bikes, nutrition, sports. Let's play. Register now, expo.com.
Hello. Welcome to the first webinar by the Byke Hub. It's a bicycle conference that is going to be hosted by ExSpo. And if you are in, you can write something in the chat, say hi. If you know me, if you are my student, if we have interacted before, you can just shout out, right? And we have people who are joining in. And till then, by the time everyone comes, I would like to start a little bit of introduction based on what is the Byke Hub, what is ExSpo, and what is the whole thing that we are going to go ahead with, and what is the plan of action. Okay, so and I will be conducting this. I'll try to conduct this in English. If you are not comfortable with English, please write in the chat. Tell me if you are not okay with the language, if you want me to talk in Hindi or you want me to mix the languages. Okay, that's how you can tell me, give me your inputs in whatever we are going to do in this session. Okay, so let's first start with what is ExSpo and what is the Byke Hub. So ExSpo is an activity which is conducted by a trade show called Kisan. So Kisan is a 20-year plus old agri exhibition, and this is India's largest agricultural expo. So you see around 1 to 1.5 lakh people who come for this expo in 5 days. And the same organizers have decided to introduce a sports exhibition. And the idea is that we already have an audience which is coming in. Pune being a central hub in India, we do not have any sports exhibition or a bicycle exhibition which happens here. Some of the exhibitions happen in North India, in Delhi, Ludhiana. But for rest of the India, it becomes a little bit challenging to reach there. So based on that, we have come up with a concept. Last year, we did something. We had very few days. We were able to pull off a show. But this year onwards, we are very confident that it's going to be a much bigger and much better activity. So ExSpo will be an exhibition where there will be around 100 plus stalls. You will get to see multiple sports and bicycles and fitness and nutrition stalls. So we are curating an exclusive bicycle hub, which is like a bay called the Byke Pavilion, where in the Byke Pavilion you will get to see different brands. So brands like Giant, E-Motorrad, Avitri, and multiple brands are already booked their stalls. They are coming in. Along with this, on 13th of December, which is a Friday, we are planning to have India's first bicycle conference. Okay, so what is the bicycle conference is the idea where we are looking at getting panel discussions happening, some presentations happening, so that the industry leaders can connect with the dealers and dealers can connect with industry leaders. So that is the whole idea of the bicycle conference. It will be a limited spot activity. So what we are looking at is around 200 to 300 spots we will have. So if you are a dealer and if you can come to Pune on December 13th, you can book your spot, book your dates right now. So the conference will give you access to a new market. It will give you access to brands. You can talk to the brands, you can talk to the representatives, get dealerships, and there will be different panelists coming in. You can network with fellow dealers who will be coming in the conference. So we are going to have multiple networking activities. where you can talk to the people and create your own network of support for your bike shop, right? And this is an engaging activity that we are planning. The idea is there will be a basic schedule. We will have registrations, networking going on. Then we will have inauguration. We'll have different sessions happening, and that is how overall view you can say it will happen. I'll not go too much into it. And so that is the whole idea of the Bike Hub, which is the conference. And the industry we are seeing, we went through a huge up in COVID, then we are seeing some slowdown, then different parts are performing differently. So based on that, the idea of the conference is to bring a lot of people together and see how we can grow the industry back. We can grow cycling take it to the next level, because COVID has shown us what is the potential of the market, what can be the dream market, what can be the dream business that can be. We have already seen that in the duration of the COVID, right? So that is a little bit of an introduction. I think more people have joined in and people are coming in, and in next 2 minutes I will start the presentation. If you have any questions, we have a question. So we have already around 10 brands have confirmed their participation. If you are here, my number is going to be at the end of it. You have my number. I think we might have spoken. So you can reach out to me and we can tell you who have confirmed the spots, which stalls have been already booked. And the idea is that we have a full new segment of market which is coming in, where the Agri Expo brings a lot of tier 2, tier 3 audience, where we will see in the next part of selling high-end cycles that how a different market will be responding to different things, but there is a huge new opportunity to reach out to a new customer segment, and that's where we have developed this whole idea of conducting the sports expo along with the Agri Expo, which is Kisan. So you can reach out to us, you can WhatsApp me, I'll connect you to the team and we'll tell you who all brands are coming in and which brands have confirmed. And that we will be also updating on the website who are coming. We will also be declaring the sessions that will be happening in the coming days. You will see very interesting panels. We are in talks with a lot of people. If you want any brand representatives to come there, if you want any specific panel, you want a panel on electric cycles, you want a panel on performance cycles, you can reach out also, you can share us the details and we will tell you. We will try to get those people as speakers, as panelists, so that you can get the right kind of information from this. Okay, so I think we have people coming in, and now we have limited time. I don't want to hold you for a long time. So basically, let's start with the main topic that we have, which is understanding the high-end bicycle market. I hope you are able to see my screen. So it is a B2B and B2C, both you will see over there, and you can reach out to me. I'll share you all the details of the expo along with this. If you are able to see both of my screens, I am here, there is a presentation here or here. If you are able to see that, just give me a thumbs up so I know and I can start with the next topic. Display kare dono presentation पर display. Cool. So again, welcome everyone, and we are going to start with today's topic, which is understanding the high-end bicycle market challenges and solutions for those challenges. This is conducted by ExSpo. This is like the webinar series is hosted by ExSpo, and it is conducted by me. I'm Aniket Mahashabde. I run a bicycle institute called Simor, and I've been in the industry for more than 14 years and been renting, doing events, did a little bit of distribution, and ran my own bicycle shop. And from all this experience, did a venture funded startup where with bike sharing. Along with that, I went to the US, got my training from Barnett Bicycle Institute in bicycle repair maintenance. And in last 4 years, we have been training mechanics. And from that whole experience of these 14 years, you are going to experience whatever we are going to share in this webinar series. So I will start from here. Basically, when we look at our bicycle market, and I'm not talking about the whole market. Okay, I want to only talk about the high-end bicycles. So whenever we talk about high-end bicycles, I'm considering something which is 35,000 and above. And that in India, currently, we are looking at a market of around 40,000 cycles are sold every year. Along with that, there will be spare parts, accessories which are sold. And that market size will be roughly around 500 to 550 crores. Okay, so that is the market you are trying to get into. And according to whatever surveys are there, you can see that market is growing at around 17% every year. So there is growth, there is space, there is a lot of opportunity, right? Just the challenges that we face today are we are not able to anchor ourselves, anchor the business around this, and we are not able to, get the most out of this market. So that is my goal today, to take you through this journey and see how we can take a bigger slice of this market and make this segment a bigger one in the near future. Okay, so there is growth we can see, and what is growing what is the main thing that is growing it is there is increased interest in health and fitness. There is increased disposable income. So we have seen people are going and buying iPhone 16 in lines. We have seen a lot of videos. We have seen very interesting things that are happening. People are now ready to spend around 1.5 lakh rupees on a phone. So thinking of a 30,000-40,000 cycle is not impossible. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that you can just go and start selling 50,000-60,000 rupees cycles overnight. But it is there. Now it is reaching there. You might have also seen people buying 2 lakh, 3 lakh rupees cycles. So we are going to see that journey also. And there is a cycling community is also growing. So if you have seen in last 10 years, any city if you look at, you might have seen that, okay, there were only few cyclists. Now there are at least 50, 60, 100 cyclists around. Right? So that is the goal that we are going to see. And there is a tremendous growth that is happening in this market. Now, when we are looking at high-end cycles, we will call them as performance cycles. And we see, so please I am not biased with any of these brands. These are just representatives of the segment, and they all have, some cycles in either segment also. So please don't take it as a very hard and fast bifurcation. But overall, if I'm looking at, there is an entry-level segment. There will be multiple brands in that segment today. And some of the mid-range brands also are in the entry-level segment. So I'm not going to go over there. But when I'm talking about entry-level segment, I'm talking about someone who is doing commuter cycles, who is focused on kids cycles, right? That and whose overall market is, let's say, less than 15,000 rupees cycle, the main focus area. It is not that they might not have 20, 30,000 rupee cycles, but their core business focus is in that segment. Then we have a second segment, which is a mid-range. Now, mid-range is basically, I will look at from 15 to 18,000, that goes up to 30, 35,000. Okay, so today we are not talking about these two segments. Today we are talking about performance segment. Performance segment is all your international brands where you will see Fuji, Specialized, Giant, Trek, Scott, Merida, any of these international brands, which are basically, producing cycles for the world. So, example is if I look at Trek Madon or a Merida cycle or a Giant cycle, right? The same model, the same year is available across the world in the same specifications. So, if you go and buy a Scott Aspect, let's say 730, right? Just a random model, that bicycle for 2024 will be the same bicycle across the world. If I buy the same model in Europe, it will be the same bike. In US, it will be the same bike, right? So these are the bikes we are talking about. This is the performance segment that we are going to look at when we go ahead. Okay. Now, when we go ahead in the performance segment, then again we are looking at the challenge of there are MTBs, there are hybrids, there are road bikes. In again MTBs, you get full suspension cycles, you will get marathon cycles, you will get XC cycles, you will get your endurance bike, your hardtail, and only in one category there are 10 different varieties, right? Similarly, in road bikes, there is a huge variety. So, understanding all this is very critical when it comes to the end consumer and when getting into this market segment. Today, I'm not going to go into the types of cycles. Today, I'm not going to go into which cycle is used for what usage. Okay. Today, today we are looking at basically the overall market, what are the challenges and how we solve them. So getting into the models and details is something you can do the study. You can ask us, we can also conduct a special workshop on that, a webinar specifically targeted on that. Okay. But the whole idea is that there is a huge range. These brands make amazing cycles. They start from 30,000-40,000, go up to 10 lakh rupees. And to get into that market and how to access that market, that is the focus for today's webinar. Okay. So when we go ahead, we have challenges and problems. So let's say, what is the first biggest problem that we face? That is affordability and cost, right? Give me a thumbs up if you agree to this. The main thing is that cost, they're very expensive, right? The prices are high. We are paying very high import duties on the cycles. The social economic structure is there, like affordability is a challenge. If someone doesn't have disposable income, this segment is not for them. Then if there are very few financing options, like for car, a person with a salary of 50,000 rupees can easily go and buy a few lakh rupee car because the EMI comes to 10,000 rupees. Today, for a bicycle, these options are not available. So, creating this, breaking this structure is also going to be very critical. There are a few companies, you will find Bajaj Finance, you will find a few other companies who do provide consumer finance loans. And we will get into that whenever, we can try to get them also to the conference. And yes, someone is asking, shop owner can attend the conference for 13. Yes, it is for the shop owners, it is for the dealers, it is for the industry, it is for the brands, for everyone to come and attend the workshop, the conference, right? So first challenge that we have is the affordability. And I will not, the reality is the affordability is a challenge, but that is not the only challenge, because let's say we are looking at a market segment of 40,000 cycles in a year for a 1.3 billion population, right? 130 करोड़ लोगों के लिए हम 40,000 साइकिल बेच रहे. So considering that, it's still a very small market, and there is a huge potential to grow, and there is a huge segment that is still who has disposable income but is not choosing cycling. Correct? So second part is we go in is the awareness and attitude, right? So people have limited knowledge of cycles. Cycling activities and options are less. So the health and fitness awareness has been less due to COVID. Yes, it has increased, but as a lifestyle choice, a lot of people do not choose any exercise as their daily engagement. Cycling culture is weak. So if you go to a smaller town or a mid-sized town or a big city, you will see there are cycling groups, but you won't find, like, maybe it is not as big as cricket, right? Cricket is huge. You go to anyone, they know cricket. They talk about cricket, right? Now kabaddi is catching up, but cycling is not that big yet. But there is possibility for it to happen. And then there is also awareness, like cycles के साथ एक status attached है. Like cycle मतलब low end है, कोई भी चलाता है. So when you are thinking of getting into the high end segment, we want to make sure that you're changing the whole mindset, because once you change the mindset, the whole society around you is going to change the mindset, right? Now, the second part we look at is government and infrastructure issues. There is the lack of infrastructure. We don't have cycling highways. You see a lot of photos in Europe, in US, right? There are amazing cycling routes just dedicated for cycles, and government has a lot of support. There are cycle lanes, blah, blah, blah. So all that is lacking in cities, especially. So think of this in a way that in one location, that's a challenge. But for other locations, maybe in your city where you are located, that might not be a challenge. If you are in a mid-sized town, a small town, or a tier 2, tier 3 city, the traffic is not that big of a challenge in your city. The road infrastructure might be very good around for cycling. In 5 minutes of cycling, you might be stepping out over there. So for you, the challenges will be different. But for people in the city, we have very high congestion, very high traffic. Everybody is stressed out. The whole traffic system is stressed out. We do not have very good public infrastructure. There are no parking spots. If you go to a mall, they will send you somewhere down in the basement to park the cycle. Correct? So these are the challenges that we also have when it comes to infrastructure and government support. And that is, we can't keep fighting it. We have to learn to do business around it and try to understand what is the best solution. But if we have a very large community around, then the government will have to take notice and support us at the end of the day. Right? And the last part is the maintenance and the availability. So first of all, there is a very high shortage of trained mechanics. If you go to most of the cycle shops, think about it. Does a cyclist who has a 1 lakh rupee cycle feel safe to bring the cycle to your shop? Does your mechanic know really well how to handle a high-end cycle? A 50,000-60,000 rupee cycle, if something like is done wrongly, then you are going to end up spending 5, 6, 7, 10,000 rupees from your pocket. Right? So that is something that also limits the growth of cycles. I have got calls from people, I have students from across India, and people say, okay, for me to get my cycle serviced, I have to leave my town, take a holiday, go to some other town and spend a whole day on servicing the cycle. Right? So when I look at that, that is actually a good opportunity to solve a problem in that area, right? If you have a good cycle shop, that is going to start the business over there. Then knowledge gap with cycle shop owners, that's also a very big challenge. If I talk about technical details, a lot of things will not be known to the shop owners. If the mechanic says, sir, this is how something needs to be done, the cycle shop owner may or may not know exactly how it is to be done. And I'm only talking about high-end cycles. I'm not talking about the sub 40,000 rupee, 30,000 rupee cycle. Okay. So that knowledge upgradation, fear of maintenance cost. Lot of times a cyclist comes and has to change chain, cassette, a lot of things. And the thing is that with a regular maintenance that can be avoided, right? Then there is a limited part availability, which is also a challenge in cities. I break a derailleur hanger, I'm not getting parts, right? So all these things are adding to our problem of growing the high-end bicycle business, right? Now, based on this, what we want to do, we want to go for solutions, correct? And let's write towards solutions. And my suggestion is stop selling cycles. Okay. So first thing is, if you stop selling cycles, your business is going to grow. Correct. Now, what I'm telling you is when you stop selling bicycles and you start selling cycling. Correct. If you are selling cycling, then cycle just becomes a part of it, which is needed for the cycling activity. So first thing is that if you start selling 10, 20, 30 kilometer cycle rides, and if you tell someone, "Arey, come, we are doing a 20 kilometer ride, join us," the first thing is going to say, "I need a cycle." That's where you sell the cycle. Correct? From there, you can take that to from 10 kilometers to 100 kilometers. From fitness journeys are part of it. Then, leisure rides are part of it. Enjoying Sundays. So, if you change the whole product that you're selling, and if you end up selling cycling, then cycles, your accessories, your spare parts, upgrade, it's all part of it. You want to ride, come on a ride. You want to be safe, buy a helmet. Correct? If you want to buy a good helmet, this is a 3,000 rupee, 5,000 rupee helmet. Correct? So, changing the perspective is going to make a huge difference. And when you see this journey, when you start selling cycling, you start from 10 kilometer rides and it can go up to people becoming Ironman and, doing ultra races and whatnot. Because this is what you're selling is a completely different thing. And what you're actually selling over here, right? What are we really selling? So one is an experience. What the high-end cycles are going to give you is a great ride quality. That is going to be smooth, that is going to be reliable, and it is going to be a very joyous and satisfactory activity. So if you ask anyone, what did you enjoy? How was the ride? They will not talk about the bicycle. They will talk always about how they felt. And if you are really selling happiness, awareness, memories, achievements, because when someone does a 100 kilometer ride, that achievement stays with them for many, many, many years. When someone, like if I ran a half marathon maybe 10, 12 years back, but today also I can say, yes, I ran half marathon. I don't even remember which shoes I was wearing. I don't even remember what clothes I was wearing. Correct? But I know that achievement that I had felt. And that is where, if we are selling these emotions, we are selling health and wellness, if we are selling sense of community, having a group, then bicycle becomes a product required for that activity. And even at a small shop level, the first things that you want to do is start changing this mindset. For commuters, yes, you are just selling a bicycle. For kids, you might be just selling a cycle. That I have a kid, 5,000 rupees is the budget, this is the cycle. Great, no problem. But if you want to step out from this and you want to go towards the high-end bicycle market, this is somewhere you want to change the mindset on what you are really selling. Okay? And the first part of it is start cycling yourself. If you want to sell a 40,000 rupee cycle, ride a 40,000 rupee cycle. If you want to sell a 1 lakh rupee cycle, ride a 1 lakh rupee cycle, you will know what is the difference. I am not saying that you have to do everything. Okay. You can do a 50 kilometer ride, you can do a 100 kilometer ride once in a while. You do not have to do ultra races, Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Manali, Leh, all that. No. But if you start riding, then you can sell that product better. Correct? So, and start small. If you are saying, okay, I'm going for a ride, message 10 friends of yours, one or two will definitely show up. Then they will bring more people. So first thing when you get into here is change the thing that you are selling. So from cycles, go to cycling, talk about emotions, and start cycling yourself. If you cycle yourself, it is my guarantee that it will be much easier to sell bicycles in this segment. Okay. And the next part is the knowledge and training. Correct? Learn about cycles, learn about cycling, go watch YouTube videos, go watch very different things, attend webinars, come to the conference, meet people, talk about cycling, right? Then start networking. And other thing is enhance your technical skills. Learn about repair maintenance. You as a shop owner, if you are running a shop, it is not needed that you service all the cycles. But today, if a mechanic comes to you and says that, yes, this is a problem and this is how what needs to be done, you can, if you know, you can agree to it, or you can say, no, I know how this is done. This is not the way, this is the way. And that is going to bring the business in your control. Tomorrow, if a mechanic is, saying I'm leaving, you can say, go leave. I know how to handle this. If you have the training, you can keep hiring new mechanics, right? So upgrading yourself towards that market segment, right? Understand the gears, understand what are carbon cycles. Go watch, there is ample videos. We might be coming with new videos, right? So there is a huge knowledge bank which is free of cost available for you. Go and upgrade yourself. That is the next thing that you want to do. And the other thing is know your customer, right? Don't treat the high-end customer just like your regular customer. When they come into your shop to buy a 50,000 cycle, don't ask them what is your budget. Don't ask them what color they like. Don't ask them what cycle they want, right? They know. The customer who is going for a 40,000 plus cycle is looking for a quality and not for cost. They might negotiate with you. How to reduce discounting is a very different ball game. We are going to come up with a webinar on that subject, right? But these customers value time. They, they are paying for an experience, and they are not just paying for the experience of cycling, but they are also paying for the experience of purchase, of getting the upgrades, buying accessories, getting their cycle serviced. Everywhere there is an opportunity, and if you provide a very good quality, will be happy to pay you 500 to 1,000 rupees extra for the same job, right? So the customers who are going for this are in a progression. They go for a cycle, they go for accessories, they go for spare parts, they do upgrades, and then they go for a new cycle. So if you look at someone who is buying a 3 to 4 lakh rupee, 5 lakh rupee cycle, that is not a customer who is just started cycling. Most of them have started cycling 5, 7, 8, 10 years back. It is their third or fourth cycle. Now imagine a cycle shop who is engaged with that customer. That customer is going to spend way lot more money, right, than a commuter or a kid as a segment. I'm not saying those segments are bad. I'm just talking about this segment and what this segment will offer. Correct? So really try to understand the psychology of these customers and what they are coming for, right? So this is what is the crux of today's overview. So what we saw is challenges. So we have affordability, we have awareness and attitude issues, we have infrastructure problems, we have maintenance and availability issues, knowledge lacking issues, correct? But the solutions are there. The solutions are to promote cycling goals, then enhance customer experience, get yourself trained, right? And understand your customer needs. If you do that, if you stop selling cycles and start selling cycling, the cycles will fly off the shelf at the end of the day. And look at what is the advantage and disadvantage where you are. If you are in a small town, the disadvantages are the lack of service quality, the lack of availability of bicycles, lack of dealerships around. Correct? So if there is a huge potential to crack that, because there you do not have issues of traffic, bad quality roads and everything, because there might be a very good environment for cycling over there. In cities, you have very different challenges. You have cycles available, you have good service available, but then the roads are challenging. Today, the trainers are getting sold more. So that's a very different challenge based on where your cycle shop is. Correct? So that is it from me today. We have a expo coming up from 12th to 14th December. If you are a dealer, if you are a shop owner, if you are a bike brand, please visit. We are working to get India's first bicycle conference. With your support, we can get much better brands, we can get much better panels. And on 13th, we have the Bike Hub, which is the bicycle conference that is going to happen. So visit us, register yourself, right? And for anyone who wants to get in touch, I'm going to leave these details on the screen for 5 minutes. If you have any questions, please write them in the comments. We have around 5-10 minutes around with us. It was a 45-minute session, and I think I'm done in 30-35 minutes. So if you write your comments, I can answer them right away. If you have any questions, we can definitely look into that. If you have any suggestions for us, if you have any, if you want to tell us about what sessions to conduct, you can write to us. Harjay, if you are there, my number is there. You can reach out. We will tell you about who is participating. The platform is open to like business also and B2C also. And we are making sure that B2C is handled by dealers and B2B is handled by the brands. So we are working very closely to make sure that it's a smooth journey for everyone to experience this. Okay, if you have any questions, please pin. If you're done, you can give a thumbs up. If you liked it, give a thumbs up.
Aniket, there is one question in Q&A. How is market specialty found?
Is market specialist SRAM components and their availability versus Shimano. So SRAM components, basically we have a distributor which is in Mumbai called Longshine. They do have a lot of inventory with them. Shimano, as we know, is the biggest brand, so they have a lot more supply chain available. But in terms of usability, if you look at the riding goals, somewhere the SRAM will be better, somewhere the Shimano will be better. But in terms of availability, if you reach out to Longshine, they have the stocks. Most of the parts are available, even from the entry level to the ETAP systems that SRAM Red and all electronic systems are also available in India. So reach out to them and you can get the. So as customers are always they just know Shimano, right? So Shimano has a range from Tourney to Dura-S in road bikes, and Tourney to your MTB group sets. You have Alivio, XTR, that is your top end. So customers will just go for Shimano as a name. But if you are able to give them the right kind of knowledge and tell them why a specific thing works better than the other, and if you are able to understand their riding goal, and if Shimano works better or SRAM works better for that riding goal, then that is going to be much easier. If you want to start very interesting conversation, that's a right question, but I do not have a preference in this. Again, as I said, in terms of performance, in different riding conditions, different ones perform much better. And whatever is a rider's goal, we can definitely focus on that. And I have used both, and they have given really good performances when I was it was used in different situations, right? So both are interesting, and we have a lot of thumbs up. People have enjoyed it. Please, if you have any feedback, you can write to us on social media. You can write to us. My email address is there on the screen. You can go to ExSpo website, right? Register yourself. We will be trying to put this up on, maybe try to put this up publicly. We'll look into that. And also give us what are your views on next webinars. We are planning a series of 8 to 10 webinars. We'll try to do it every week or alternate weeks till the bicycle conference happens. And from there, we will take it up as the activity if we find this very useful. Okay, that's my time. Is there space for any other good quality spare in high-end bikes apart from SRAM or Shimano? So, see, what is the question you're asking is only about SRAM and Shimano is mainly our UC brands in the gear systems which are there. But in bicycles, there are a lot more parts. You have hubs, you have bottom brackets, you have headsets, then, so based on that, there are multiple brands which are available. And yes, there are a lot of low quality imports. So, the whole thing is that at a bike shop level, that's where the knowledge gap creates the problem. And wherever you see the bike shop owners have upgraded themselves, they can provide both. They can provide a low-end option and a high-end option also. So that was very interesting. Thanks a lot for everyone who has joined in. And let us try to stay in touch, and we will reach out to you on WhatsApp, through emails, and we'll keep doing this. Thank you very much. Deepak, if you are there, you can take the control, and now I'll go on mute.
Okay, Aniket, we can conclude the webinar.